Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Blaze, and you guys may know me from everything I've done, basically for the past recent week. And yeah, hopefully everything is okay. Well, today we are actually going to be ranking our top tier list from Call of Duties of the decade. As I'm here with my boy Danny, as may know him, as it's been a long time since the man has been on my channel, and we are here. And would you like to say something to get yourself started?
No.
Okay. All right. Anyway, we're gonna start it from like top tier to like what your favorite card is, from basically what you don't want to play ever again, and just hopefully it just doesn't come out of existence. This doesn't like come in existence again.
Oh, the way I did my list, I did the best Call of Duties, not my favorites. So I didn't do anything with my favorites. And you'll see that about midway through.
Okay.
Actually, probably near the end.
Okay.
It's gonna be kind of surprising.
All right. So I'm gonna go first, and for starters, I just want to pick my number one, which is my most favorite card, is Black Ops 1. This game is no stranger to my Call of Duty nostalgia, from how good I think this game is, and it's no stranger from the Call of Duties, as everybody loves this. Well, a lot of people do, and myself included, where this game has a very good campaign where I'd be playing it over and over and over again, and I would basically just love to play the multiplayer. The zombies was the most nostalgic thing I'll ever get with the zombies, with the Black Ops 1 game anyway, and it managed to turn into both great stories from the campaign and the zombies, and it's just an all-out great game in general. And I would just, if I would have the choice to play something that I would not want to end, basically play something forever, it would probably be Black Ops 1, to be honest with you. And that game is just non-stop fun, and yeah, that's my first one. Your turn.
Alright, my first one is actually Black Ops 2.
Good choice.
Was always just saying it wasn't really that good, but then recently I just actually it was really good. I see people talking about it. Campaign, when I went back and got the giant accomplishment achievement and just the remaining achievements I needed, I realized how good the campaign was. The multi-ending, I don't know, routes you can go for different endings of good, bad, or whatever. There's like 4 or 5 different endings, which is actually, I don't think even has 2 other endings in any other Call of Duty I know of, which was really unique and good. And then also like the challenges was a new introduction and very innovative that they returned back to Black Ops 3, or yeah. That's about the campaign. Zombies was actually really fun with my cousin throughout the cycle, I guess, of 2012, 2013. Tons of memories I can remember too. Each day of each of the DLC days when they were released, I have something, a remembrance of multiplayer. I just really enjoyed. I still play it to this game, not online, since it just completely hacked, modded, and just not good. So I just play custom games, just play with bots. Still fun. Maps were always really good. And it's the only game, Call of Duty, where I actually enjoyed every single DLC map.
Very good. Is that all? Alright, so that was a very interesting opinion to how you think about Black Ops 2. My second one, second tier favorite Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. Now, what I can say about this game is that it was a very good step up from Modern Warfare 2, as basically they just brought everything better. They brought back the ACR, they brought back new weapons, they basically innovated so many things that they had from MW2. They brought back great maps, they made awesome base maps, and they had a very good campaign that was basically continuing the Modern Warfare 2 story, which is what I really liked. And it was very satisfying, to say the least, because you were able to basically kill the one guy that was basically terrorizing the whole entire world. And really emotional when it came to some missions, like Soap's death, basically, and you're seeing Yuri die and everybody else that you love basically fade away. And it was an all-out, really good campaign where it was just switching up. Where it was the same thing as Modern Warfare 2, where you're able to switch up to like different teams and just be able to connect with the other team. That's basically the one that everybody loves, Task Force 141, and Task Force 141, and they basically like combined with the Delta Force. Same thing how they combined with the Rangers, basically, or the SAS combined with the the Marines in COD 4, which is what I basically liked. So I like that they made that from the beginning all the way up to the end, and they made like the ending very, very happily emotional to basically claim victory, as like a lot of sad music was basically there as you see Price just smoking his cigar for the last time. And all in all, it was a great campaign. Would highly recommend playing it if you just haven't like played any kind of Call of Duty campaign in a while. Multiplayer, really good with my friends, as I basically met some great people playing that multiplayer. It was great. The weapons were awesome. Most of the guns, like some of the guns I really missed, because they were actually a nostalgic feeling, because some of the guns actually came from Modern Warfare 2, as like majority of them, and they were really good in general. The multiplayer was very fast paced. I loved how much the flow the maps gave, how much atmosphere like the maps actually had, and I love that they brought back some great maps and just had a great DLC season just from you getting like the Elite season pass, which is basically what it was, because you have to pay $50 for it. And it was kind of, the Elite was kind of like a subscription thing, or it was like a one-time thing, I can't really remember, but every single time you would get one map a month, and I just really like that. And I would love to honestly play Modern Warfare 3 again, but I just rather not, because I feel like it's just hacked as shit at this point, and I'll probably just get banned for some reason, because I have a history in that game for actually getting banned multiple times. Not sure why, and I would just not get my rank where it was, because if I did get banned once on Modern Warfare 3, I would have actually been like at least 15th prestige by now. Or I would have just been kept my promise from like 8 years ago that I would just stay at 10th prestige. And yeah, all in all, the Spec Ops was really fun, as it was basically like a continuation of MW2, was basically a continuation of the campaign, like what MW2 did. Survival was really nostalgic for me, and it was the first time that's not zombies, and they decided to change it and just make it like bots instead of just zombies, mindless zombies just like trying to chase you and stuff. This time these bots have weapons, and they would get harder and harder as the rounds went on. And the Juggernauts were basically just like the Hellhounds, basically, but they were like a lot stronger. And yeah, it was like the boss round for zombies, but this time they decided to make it with either choppers or Juggernauts. And I love the maps. Well, I love like the missions we've gotten from Special Ops, and the maps that basically gave Special Ops like life again, because I was loved that we had DLC, survival, and chaos mode. Let me tell you that chaos mode was a lot of fun. Okay, basically a lot of shit goes on where you just start like just ripping havoc as your points go on, and you need to just keep that going until obviously you die or you just run out, and you just end off from there. But you just have to keep your points up as possible as you get all these multiple things from care packages, as they just, I don't know, increase your points dramatically, and they just get harder and harder from all the things coming at you. But all in all, it was a great game. Highly recommend it. But highly recommend it. Like, I don't know, a couple years ago. But to be honest with you, it's kind of not playable. But but like a lot of people are probably on it right now. Same goes for Black Ops One, if anything. But right now, MW3 is still a special place in my heart, and I would love if it was like remastered and stuff, or it had like a follow up to it. But yeah, that's my second one.
Alright. So my last Call of Duty that I think is one of the best. I only have two, BO2, and it's BO1.
Okay.
I played BO1 was my first ever Xbox 360 game. So I got it back in Christmas of 2010. It was just because I saw it on. I think I saw maybe a Kobe Bryant commercial or something. I saw just something promoting the game. So I was like, this game actually looks really cool. So it was my first game my mom ever bought me back in Christmas. And I played it locally with two of my neighborhood friends upstairs and on houses down the street from me. And pretty much we played it almost every single day or on the weekends whenever we just hang out. When I didn't until August of 2011, so I was pretty much just playing Black Ops 1 offline until I got Modern Warfare 3, which was able Xbox Live. I didn't have Xbox Live, so I didn't really enjoy BO1's life cycle throughout the year. I was only playing it for campaign. I was really scared of zombies when it came out. I remember my highest round was like 2 or 4. I think it was round 4. And then every time like I saw zombies get close, I just always ended the game since I just got scared. I don't really remember much of the campaign except when I went back a couple of years ago to do it on Veteran. It was actually really fun. Last mission was one of the most annoying missions I ever did on Veteran, besides a couple missions from COD 4. The original. Multiplayer, I remember always trying to get the achievement where, I think it's called Ready for Combat or something. It's reach level 15, or reach level 10 in combat training. I didn't know how to do that because I didn't have Xbox Live, so I'd never had that unlocked. That was my first ever achievement in any other, on Xbox. It's like over 10,000 achievements now. And I remember that's my first ever achievement. And I did that like literally seconds after I got my Xbox Live. And BO1 multiplayer, I don't remember. I just remember, just playing it, just playing for fun. It was actually when I was actually playing for fun, not like trying. And my favorite map is actually I think Hazard, the golf course map.
Oh, I love that map.
Like the last DLC. Yeah, I didn't really play it much. I didn't hanger. I don't know why, but I loved it.
Annihilation was a great DLC pack. One of my favorites, if anything.
Zombies. Kino is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think it's one of the most overrated zombies maps. There's nothing to do on it. It just, you get it, you train on stage, and that's
Yeah, I agree. I agree that Kino is just that overrated, but it's a great beginner map, but it's because that it was so...
Yeah, it's a great beginner map if you're...
It's so, like, overpopularized.
Going back at it.
It's probably because,
not really.
Yeah. It's probably because, like, Syndicate was the one that popularized the hype of Kino, basically, because he, like, survived 115 on it. And ever since then, everybody loved Kino because him making history over making videos on Kino, basically. And since he was basically the only popular zombies person back then that I knew of, and he basically loved Kino, so everyone else did, basically.
Yeah, I just remember whenever I play Keno, I watched a video and I saw that they got to the alleyway, and I was like, how did they get that? Because I never went out. I used to go alleyway, but I always died. So I never got to the messed up letter room. There's the trap and the stairs. I never seen that until I watched it. And I remember seeing the fire cell, and I never knew what it was. I never really survived that long, so I got lucky to see it. That's my memories of Keno. That's what's the name? 5. I remember there was a glitch that me and my friend used to do on local, where it was you on the table and spawn, and pretty much you can. I got to my round 20, just literally just using the pistol and the M14. That's all we used, and then we got to round 20, which I thought was world record at the time, since one of the games came out in 2. It was the highest I ever seen. But I actually like 5. It's not really like the best good map or anything. It's fun to play. You're just in the mood to play zombies. What is it? I think essentially yeah, DLC 1. I remember playing it at my cousin's house whenever I went over his house on the PS3. The same thing as Keno. It's pretty much just grab it, you go to the PhD flopper room, and then that's it. Call of the Dead is one of my favorite maps of all time. I'm glad that your map's gonna be forward to make it attack your Golden. They added the more unique areas. But the reason I like Call of the Dead is just because the Easter egg was simple and actually fun to do. Besides the last step, obviously, just luck based. I love the snow. Whenever there's snow, it's always a really good map for me. Like Summit and stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
Shangri-La. I didn't really play a lot of Shangri-La. I don't know, I just didn't really enjoy it. I like doing the Easter egg, except that's about it. And like, he's probably gonna hate me, but B1 had some overrated maps. And another map I never really understood. It was innovative. The map I didn't really like was Moon. Moon was just really annoying. You had a stupid cosmonaut, stupid guy. Anytime he grabs you, he teleports you and also makes you lose a perk. And it was stupid. And it stayed on the actual base, not No Man's Land. You threw a grenade and it blew up. It will make everything just broken, and like all the windows break, so it's not even like pretty much you had to have the mask, and it would just, if you didn't, you pretty much dead. These were fun, a couple of annoying steps. That's I mean, most part it's easy, and that's all I can remember. Maybe another stuff, but I don't remember.
Now I'm gonna be real with you.
So you're next.
Now I'm gonna be real with you. I may like Moon, but I just like the atmosphere. All right. I don't like every single thing in Moon. I don't like the excavators. I don't like the astronaut. I don't like the fucking Nova crawlers. I do not like the fact that every single time you throw one grenade, everything is destroyed. I do not like the excavators.
And you had the chance of the QEDs.
Yeah.
If you threw it, you had a chance of like ray guns,
yeah,
and it just killed you instantly.
Yeah. I do not like some of the randomness that the QEDs had. I love the wave gun. Don't get me wrong; it's one of my favorite wonder weapons in the game. But you have to bring it to like an understanding point. The atmosphere of the map is great. I love the fact that you're on the moon and you're able to jump around basically and have as much fun doing that. But the zombies also are goddamn reckless. They are just like so fierce. They are just so like strong. It's ridiculous. No Man's Land is like kind of fun, but sometimes every single time when it comes to the start, you want to get Pack-a-Punch and Jug. It's kind of impossible with the fucking dogs following you, but after trying to fucking help you the fastest. And that's all I can basically say about Moon. Great map, a great atmosphere. Well, great atmosphere of the map. Horrible things that it has. I'm just saying. Great design, basically. Alright, so my turn. We got number 3, which is honestly it's Black Ops 2. Now I know that everybody basically praises this fucking game every year when it comes to a new Call of Duty not being the fucking better than it. But you have to basically put it on an understanding. You have to put it on an understanding point. BO2 was a really good follow-up to Black Ops 1, but there were some flaws, basically, where the multiplayer was sometimes unplayable. I managed to basically get to Master Prestige on that game, and it was a great multiplayer, and it basically had everything correct from what Black Ops 1 was basically doing from the beginning, and the Black Ops 2 just made that they just made that better. The kill streaks, maps were great. The weapons were, most of the guns were good. Some of them were like decent, but they were still good. You were still able to have like a positive KD ratio from them. But the zombies,
Reapers PDW is by far the best Call of Duty gun of all time. Definitely.
The zombies, had a lot of fun basically doing that. Remember doing that with Danny basically. Most of the Easter eggs that I basically did were from the help of him basically. And
I just remember
Transit was a very controversial map when it came to me and
just because the Easter egg.
Yeah, the Easter egg I did with him, the time when we did the Transit Easter egg was it was really confusing, to be honest. It was really questionable. Because I remember still to this day that I had to go and he wanted me to stay because I don't think that you were able to fucking play it or complete the Easter egg with 2 people. So they decided to think of the idea for me to just keep my console on or just stay in the game and just basically do everything from there.
No, it was the other way.
Well,
you wanted to stay. I was like,
so I wanted to stay, so I basically just left and just basically let you guys do what you guys needed to do. And turns out we did it the most weird way possible. And then I came back and I was like, damn, I didn't even think that you guys would actually do it. But here we are now. The campaign was really good. Really good follow-up to Black Ops 1. As new villains basically came on, and still remembering the past we've had from Black Ops 1, and a first Call of Duty where you're actually able to have decisions, and if any decision happened, you would actually impact the story. So, generally speaking, it was kind of questionable considering I actually had the best ending that any pretty much story could offer on Black Ops 2. The rest of the zombies maps for Black Ops 2 they were amazing. Die Rise was a great release. Mob of the Dead, I had an awesome time playing that with my real life friends. Buried, let me tell you this, if Moon didn't have the stuff that makes it ridiculous, it would have actually topped Buried. But Buried actually tops as the easiest map that anybody could fucking play. Basically, if you actually had like a 4-year-old or some shit like that, they would still somehow get to round 20 on Buried because it was just that easy. The bank made it obnoxious. Leroy just made you have a big fucking advantage. You were able to get free perks. You were able to have a fucking time bomb to basically reverse time in case you actually were in like a situation or some shit like that. The Easter egg was obnoxious. And all in all, I love the fact that it was like Western themed because it basically reminded me of playing Red Dead Redemption. And to be honest, I really like that map. I was thinking that maybe it was going to get remastered at some point, but maybe that could happen in Zombies Chronicles too. Who knows? But all in all, great campaign. Well, great game. Didn't have to be, but it shouldn't have been praised that many years for 6 years in a row. And yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. So we're now on the list that I consider a good or above average Call of Duty. And number one is BO3. I don't know why.
I agree.
didn't really plan this out to be the first 3 Call of Duties
I
I
agree.
have. Be all Black Ops series. But I have Black Ops 3 because I was just campaign I'm not going to bring up. Oh, and the way I did this list for this list coming up for the next 6 is going to be either great multiplayer, like 2 great modes, and then just a good or average side mode. So like good zombies, like great zombies, great campaign, good multiplayer, something like that. That's what it's based on. BO3, one of my favorite and best zombies. All the maps were always good. Revelations was something. It was still just super easy. It's the only thing I didn't like. Campaign, I only enjoyed it playing do the achievements for personal decorator. I'm pretty sure I'm still one of my only friends I have on Xbox that have it. What is it? Yeah, the campaign was not really good, but the achievements tied to it was actually really, that's what made it enjoyable for me. Going through the same challenges like there were in BO2, like, and then they had the medals, which made it difficult, like do it on veteran without reloading from a checkpoint, bleed on a realistic, and modes like that, like all camos. It was like Dark Matter in campaign, except you didn't get anything special. You just do all camos for every weapon, and that was it. Realistic was fun. Last mission, I still have a screenshot. That me, Mikey, which is Blaze, my friend McCoy, and then my friend Amon all did when the game released, and it took us, I think, 2 weeks, a week and a half to do it. Last mission was the hardest, and I think the Lotus Towers or something. The one where you fight the gunship or whatever it is. That was really annoying. What is it? That's all for campaign. Zombies. Shadows of Evil is one of my top 3 favorite maps of all time. I like the atmosphere of just it being based in, I think Chicago is Morgan City. The Easter egg was fun. The only thing that sucked about it is that it had to be done on 4 players. There's mods on the custom zombies that you can do it on solo or anything, but that's the only thing bad about the map, I would say. But getting to high rounds was actually fun. Training, there's so many good spots you can train in the underground section near Pack Punch. What else? They had the pods that were really cool, where you got like wonder weapon, the Authentic Servant upgrades and equipment crafted, ray guns, power-ups, and just stuff that made it like actually really good and fun to play. What else? There's something else about Shadows of Evil and I can't remember.
The fact that it actually has kind of an intimidating boss.
Yeah, and the Margos is actually one of my favorite types of like boss
I
enemies.
love the Margwa, if anything.
I don't know why, but like, they don't really like do anything like unique about them. They did do unique bosses for each map later on, but Marcos is like very unique, and then they brought them back in Revelations, which had fire and lightning.
Nah, it was
instead.
Void. It was yeah, it was Void.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Horizon Drive, I didn't really like it, but because the Easter egg, I just so many attempts and I just failed. Even though it's an easy Easter egg, it just, I don't know why, I struggle all the time in the boss fight. You can do the plunger Easter egg, but they're just out of the way, and it's just tedious to do it every single game.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no glitches, I think. Like, no semantic glitch. There is semantic glitch, but like, no broken stuff like dying the Easter egg cutscene. What else? God damn it. There's something else. Zetspo. The only thing I remember is the round 50 Easter egg where you get to round 50 and you look towards the, I think, Lab A, where you go down the page. You get like that liquid divinium thing.
Yeah.
Over there, if you look up the map, I did that with my friend Zion, and yeah, I don't know why, but you had to go at the very start of round 50, and you would, if you didn't, you wouldn't have seen it. But there's no good spots on Zetspo to train, so what me and my friend did was just camp in the elevator, like where you put the gears, not the actual elevator, and it just had double KT, Masamune.
Yeah, Masamune. Yeah, Masamune.
Upgraded KT4. Pretty much we just used that. I just took turns, got alchemical. It was pretty much workaholic, and then we had gobblegum machines if we do need like alchemical or something like that. But we got there. That GK, I'm pretty sure, is the only map I need to get to round 50, and I just don't care. Round 50 was just a little challenge I wanted to have to get to on every map of BO3. GK, Easter eggs, there was a couple steps I didn't like, and a couple of memories that were actually funny. It regards the bomb step, where you have to do the bombs in a certain amount of time. We never died at the time. It was always we died at us being stupid. That was the only way. It was like, alright, it's in the department store or whatever it was. And it was actually like driving and it was like, oh, well, everyone died.
I still remember that to this day.
And there was a moment where me, Mikey, Amon, and my friend Brandon, we were doing the, not Amon, Zion, we were doing the Easter egg, and then I think I was doing like reading where each location goes, and then I was like, alright, it's in the department store, and I was like, alright, I'm going there. And then Brandon was like, no, I got this. I was like, alright. He went over there, and he blew up, and I'm the only one that survived. For some reason, he pressed something different when he was, and it was like department store, and then he went to like the one near library or something. And then I was the only one to survive, so that was a really good memory. And then like first time I ever did, GK was broken. Like
yeah, it was really broken.
You get the Easter egg the first time. You get the death glitch where as soon as you go through the grate at the activate Sophia, you had the chance of hitting a death barrier.
Yeah, always that fucking death barrier.
And I'm pretty sure the first person in the world like actually got to the boss fight, hit the death barrier.
Yep.
So everyone was still able to do it. But then it was like actually one of my favorite Easter eggs because it happened over the summer of 2016. And the boss fight, it was me and my friend McCoy, where we both had L8 Circus, L4 punch, and then the crossbow things, the Shadow Claws upgraded, which was nice from like older Call of Duties. And I remember it was just me and him, and we were doing it 3 players, except Zion lagged out and got disconnected, so it was just us 2 in the game. And I remember he went down, and then I got trapped by zombies, and then got electricity, the lightning rod that Nikolai shot of the battle. Yeah. He shot that at me, but then before I went down, I shot McCoy with the Shadow Claw, and I was able to revive him with it. And one of my best moments I can remember, and in Revelations, was just I don't talk about it. I just broke it. Multiplayer was fun. I didn't really like the DLC maps, but everything else was good. Newtown was pretty much Chaos Mosh Pit was all I played. I love playing Combine 24/7. That's about it.
Alright, so my number 4 spot is the same thing as yours. It's BO3. BO3 was basically, well, a really good fun moment for our squad, basically. A group that me and Danny are basically in, where it's just our friends, basically. And it's basically what he said. It's what I think of BO3 exactly. But the music, well, if anything, the design of the game was really good. I love the music, I love the atmosphere of the maps. Not really too much of a big fan of the DLC maps, but they were fun to be on. But I'll tell you that. And I really enjoyed the multiplayer. We're not gonna fucking talk about the campaign like at all, except for the fact that it's known for being train go boom. That's pretty much it, and no connection whatsoever. And that's all I can say. The fucking campaign's terrible. But zombies. Let me tell you, that game mode was one of the best things I have ever played for the past long time. I have ever played zombies since like. The fun times for the first time I've ever played World at War. I've had some really great moments. Some of those things were delayed, or some of the releases I had were kind of delayed considering I would be at some place or some shit like that. But all in all, I had a really fun time playing Shadows. I'm not a really big fan of it, but it is one of my favorite maps in like design and atmosphere. Because I really liked that it was based off of the 1940s, because it basically gave me a vibe of Mob of the Dead, and I really love Mob of the Dead, so I was glad that it was kind of connected to that. So the Easter egg was good. I really liked it so far. Really liked the intimidating aspect of it, where the orchestric music would come on, and basically you have to rush, like, to get like the trains shocked to like get like the keepers to be flashing at the damn giant squid that was basically coming closer and closer every single time he got to a step, to the point where its mouth was basically just looking at you. And so the Eisendrach was a really good map. And by the way, before I say anything more, I'm just gonna say that the Margwas are basically what Danny said as a really good boss. Is they're one of my favorites because they're not really that intimidating. Until we get to Eisendrach, where it was a really great map. Not a fan of the Panzers at all, since they were annoying at first in Origins, and I'm gonna be real with you, they've gotten even more annoying with the damn shock charges. And I'll tell you this, the traps were really good. I like the Wonder Sphere, where you were able to fly to a certain point of the map. There were a lot of training spots, a lot of camping spots, and a really good map to basically get to round 100 on. The Easter egg, really good. I did that like 100 times. It was like really easy. I did it every single time I loaded up Horizon Direct just to get a free Perkaholic. And Zetsubo, I don't really have much to say about it, except it was the most buggiest thing I could ever experience. Or pre-patch Zetsubo was the worst thing I could ever experience. But they managed to fix it when the Xbox released. That's pretty much all I can say about it, because all the things that I'm basically about to say about Zetsubo was basically what Danny said. And GK, really good map. One of my favorite maps of basically all time. I just loved it to bits. I loved the Easter egg. I loved the fact that Sophia was there. I love the fact that you were able to have like certain kind of bosses to make the map like interesting, so it doesn't end up being like the buried version of BO3. And I love the training spot that was able to be long-lasting for the entire game until it got patched, where it was impossible for you to actually get to to round 100, as what I basically did. I basically got to round 100 on that map from doing the exact same thing that everybody's been doing, which has been camping at like the shield place, which I have no idea what that's really called, but I really enjoyed it, and it was a great Easter egg, great like moments of it, and that's pretty much it. Revelations, that is if anything, that is like my most played zombies map I've ever had, basically, where I would just be confident going to high rounds. Most of those high rounds have just been me camping, but that's how I really got to round 200 on Revelations, and it took me about 16 hours for myself to actually get to, without any breaks mostly, to get to round 200 in the first place, because it was just the campiest fucking map to make it really easy, with the mask and the perks and the Apothecary Servant coming back, the Thunder Gun coming back, and it was all around a great map. Pretty good one to be exact. They brought back every boss. The Easter egg was the easiest thing you could honestly do. You could literally step inside the boss fight and you're already finished. And you were able to get just 1 million XP from that. It was like, yeah, 1 million XP for this. 8 years of this. Well, during that time, 8 years of basically doing zombies, and they just do it Easter egg stuff like that, which I want to talk about, which leads me to this. The ending was the most underwhelming shit I have ever watched or I have ever seen. It just does not need an explanation. It was just that bad. And yeah, great, terrible campaign, great fun multiplayer, and one of the best zombies, basically. That's all I got.
Alright, my second game, World War II.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really think like much of this list, but I put World War II because it was just the most recent I can remember. At launch, I consider it to be one of the worst Call of Duties. Like the first, like, not worst Call of Duties, a good Call of Duty at launch. But then there were just the servers issue. I didn't really hit it because I was just playing the campaign. I didn't really experience much. But then, what is it? There was just the servers issue for like 24 to 40 hours or something for like launch, and I think just because it's boots on the ground. The maps were good, but I stopped playing World War II for like 3 months. I kept going to do the DLCs, but Multiplayer, I just didn't really care for the maps. Hawkins probably the best map of all of them. I know Mikey, that's Mikey's too.
Yep.
But about March, I came back because Mikey wanted me to play, and I came back and did Shipment with and it was St. Patrick's Day, and what is it? I did the collection, and I think it was the top of the morning, and then what the GPMG was called? I don't remember what it was.
The M33.
No, M38 was the top of the morning. I just remember the GPMG.
Oh yeah, the GPMG. I don't know.
But pretty much after they fired Schofield and Condrey, that's what made the game good. They actually listened to the community. They did a lot of good double XP. Speaking of double XP, the funny part about Rover 2, every time there was a double XP event, I never played it. I don't know why. Just never did it. I hit like 4th prestige in like the first 3 weeks of the game. And I just stopped playing because I just got bored of it. I don't remember why. War was a good mode, but playing now you just get fucking air blasted. So it's not really fucking fun. Play on the first map. But all I do now is just Shipment. Whenever I go back on it, since it just always populated and it's always just chaotic. That's for multiplayer campaign. I just remember the end, like the bridge. That's about it. I consider it to be like one of the best Call of Duty campaigns I played at the time. I wasn't really paying attention to the story and campaign whenever I played. And yeah, that's all campaign. Zombies, Final Reich is one of my actually favorite maps. I just liked it because, one, it's snow. 2, the Easter egg was fun. And I wasn't say unique, but it was cool at some points. Where it's like you just collect it, get a gramophone. Pretty much the same as Origins, except I forgot Origins exists. I don't think we brought it up when we were talking about it. Yeah, but Final Reich was a really good map. I remember doing the Easter egg, the hardcore Easter egg first attempt. It took me 3 hours, 47 minutes, 47 seconds. I remember that because it was the longest it ever took me to do an attempt. And what is it? Yeah, that was it. I did it a couple days later, but that was one of the hardest Easter eggs I've done, just because you had the Brenners, which was really annoying. They took a lot of bullets on Final Reich. And Darkest Shore, one of the scariest maps I ever fucking played, just because of the stupid mutilation. I remember the first time I seen it. I just seen streams of when the Easter egg was map was released, and I was like, I seen it once, but I didn't know where. And I just remember every time you see fog, always be ready.
Yep.
And I seen the fog, and I was playing with Mikey for first playthrough. I think it's still you can find it.
Yeah, it's still on my channel.
I remember it being the scariest fucking thing. Just like he appeared and he's so fast.
When that motherfucker saw you, he sprinted.
And then the Easter egg was the first, before the boss fight, before you actually fight the Mutilation. There's nothing like hard about it. It could be like the nuclear room in the mines, but that's the only hard part, I would say. Everything else is just kind of actually really cool.
Yeah.
boss fight, me and Mikey spent, I think the map was released on like the 1st or something of March. We didn't do it till like the 25th.
It took us so fucking long.
We were doing like almost every day, and it's just so hard. And we had no clue how to do it, and we saw an Easter egg guide or something. And what we were always using was the M1911. Like our perks are fine. It just our guns, M1911. They weren't good. Then I saw someone use the 9mm pistol, and that's the most overpowered pistol you could use with the M1, the spawn weapon, in the spawn island. And yeah, that gun was the top two.
Yeah, I really like the 9mm.
Shadowthorn, I thought I was going to do the Easter egg more often. I did it
once.
I think twice, and I was like,
I only done it once.
I think I did it twice. But the cool thing about the Shadowthorn for me is that I'm the first person in the world to get the round 15 with no weapons, just melee only. Melee only to round 15. I'm the first person in the world to get that, according to True Achievements on Xbox. Shadowthorn, just cool achievements. Torture Path was real. I'm not sure they did it, but they said they were gonna update the game because to get the other 3 maps they had, it was secret, and just pretty much do the Easter egg and get the cutscene. I did the Easter egg in custom games. It was just the stupidest thing because if you did the Easter egg, you had to do it in public match, and it was just like not really good because it was just not really good DLC.
It was one of the worst DLCs the World War II has ever received.
Frozen Dawn, Mikey did not.
I did not.
Mikey fell asleep every time we did.
I was so bored every single time I went on that map. It was crazy. Every single time I went on that map, I would always fall asleep just from myself being bored in a matter of 10 minutes. I don't know how I did
it. Well, just another map. Just start the map, get a couple random items, upgrade the weapons, and then that's it.
I mean, we did try the Easter egg.
Do the boss fight.
We did.
Boss fight was really confusing.
Yeah, we did try the first Easter egg. We did try the boss fight for the first time. It took us almost 4 hours to even get the thing done. We didn't even get it done when I was around, and he just got it somehow when I wasn't.
But it was the first Call of Duty where it also had 500 gamer score per DLC.
That's true.
And then that's about it, but it's just pretty much like Origins or any other map where you get the weapons and then upgrade them and then boss fight, and that's it. But then also, the thing about World War II is they have the unique challenges where you can get character outfits, which I wish returned in BO4 or another game. Where just you do these challenges, reach round 50 on Growshah health, which is really difficult. But you got a really cool elf. I don't remember what it was, but it was a Slayer, I think. Or is the railroad guy. I forgot what they're called. But and then they added the daily contracts in April, which was really improved the game. And that's about it.
Okay, so this is going to be true to my word, but I'm not sure how everyone else is going to feel about it. But this is my number 6 spot. It's Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare, in my opinion, was the most fun I think I've ever had on a video game, or on a Call of Duty in general. I didn't mind the boost jumping. I didn't mind the supply drops. All I cared about was how much grind and fun I managed to do with my friends. I remember at one point that we all thought that the multiplayer was one of the greatest things that we've ever played from a Call of Duty. I remember that me and my friend Zach, we stayed up for 40 plus hours grinding for double XP. Constant mashups, constant fucking kills and everything. Constant high amount of kills, constant playtime, and just everything. It was like the most fun I've ever had on a game. I don't really remember much about the campaign, to be honest with you. There's nothing really to remember about the game on the campaign, except that the fact that Kevin Spacey was a good guy for some reason. From half of the game, but then somehow he just turns bad, and he somehow just ends up dying, of course. And everyone just gets saved, and survival. That's pretty much all I can say for the campaign, basically. Survival, not much to say about it. Kind of sucked. The fact that you had to get every single round, to get so many rounds to actually get to Riot, so you could actually play the zombies game mode, and then they decided to actually release a DLC pack for the first zombie map. And where the zombies came from, Exo Zombies was good at first. It was good until Burger Town actually came into effect, where that was basically one of the worst maps I've ever played. Next to Transit, when I first thought it was terrible. And then they bounced back. Well, the thing I gotta say about Infection is that the fucking Easter egg, that shit's terrible, alright? That shit is just mediocre to the fucking max, alright? I hated the meat step. I hated that the fact you had to eat it to basically become poisoned to actually, like, do something for it. I hate that you have to look for, like, these stupid-ass, windpipes where you have to be in the sewer and you have to, like, look for shit. And then you have to do something else, and where, at the end, you would just get, if you did it wrong, you would somehow see Bubby, just explode. Or, if you had the card, if you actually get the card, you actually see him, like, fight for you. Then after a couple minutes of him doing that, he just still explodes. So there's no point of what ending you can actually want from this. And then they bounced back into Carrier, which they made it really good, actually. It was one of the best. It's actually the best, or my favorite zombie map. No, not my favorite zombie map. My favorite Exo Zombies map. My favorite Exo Zombies map was definitely Carrier, as they brought, like, a lot of new things into the Exo Zombies universe. They brought, like, this mini game where you could throw grenades in a hole, and you get to have, like, it's like that pinball thing where you could basically, like, lingo, or whatever that shit's called. And
Lingo. P-L-I-L.
Plingo? Plingo, yeah. Yeah, every single time where something drops into a certain place, you get that many points. And so, I really like that, and I like how they brought back Easter eggs. I brought back mini Easter eggs where it's during the Easter egg where you could actually, like, get something from, like, a zombie, and you could, like, turn drunk or something like that, and you have to jump from all these laser beams, and you just have to dodge them, and you basically were going through these, like, crazy types of shit. And what I liked is that my favorite part of the Easter egg is that you were able to basically teleport into an island where you had to find a book by digging around the sand. And I just liked that atmosphere, and I love the teleporting zombies. I also liked the fact that in Carrier there was no Easter egg. There was no Easter egg. There was no boss fight, basically. The two favorite parts I liked about the Easter egg was the fact that you were able to go underwater, and I liked the fact that you were able to become drunk, and I loved and I just loved the digging of being in an island, basically. And it was a really good map overall. The atmosphere is great. I love the zombies in it. Like, the teleporting zombies were a really good touch. Seeing Oz as a zombie, basically, from Carrier, was a really good touch. New character, and a really good cutscene from it starting as the last map, which was Descent, Descent was a really good map for a final map for. It was a really good final map for Exo Zombies because I remember so much of that map. I remember I did the Easter egg for the first time in, like, I think since the game's release. I did it with Danny, actually, and I was actually streaming on Twitch. If you guys didn't know, I actually streamed on Twitch 5 years ago, and then I stopped at 2016 and came back in 2018. But now, I remember doing the Easter egg, and, well, a lot of people watched. There was a lot of controversy, but we managed to. I think we did it, but the second step before the boss fight was ridiculous as it was. We had to do some type of jumping jacks type shit. We had to do some fucking grenades. We had to do like the mystery games. We had to do the drones. Like, it was ridiculous. But the boss fight, the secret boss fight, was actually really fun. I love that you were able to fight Oz, and you was basically able to go back into his memories, and you were able to fight him again. First, you were able to fight Oz at around 20, and then afterwards, you were able to go back into his memories and basically just fight a bunch of zombies being on Outbreak. And yeah, that's all I can basically say about zombies, really. The multiplayer was really nice. I was able to get to 30 prestiges without any issue whatsoever. I think I have like 30 plus days on multiplayer in general, just from me just grinding it to the max, where I actually got Grandmaster Prestige, and I think I was like one of the first people to actually get to Grandmaster Prestige out of my friends, if I'm correct. And it was against me and Vincent, Bionic X Shark, which is one of my friends, and which we basically just grinded the hell out of Advanced Warfare in the first place. We would always make fun of each other for doing the stupidest shit. I still remember to this day that there were a lot of funny moments in that game, and I was also the first person of my friends, first person out of a lot of people to actually get the speakeasy. And when I first got that shit, I was very excited, and I wanted that gun for a very long time. Ever since I picked it up, I always wanted to get it because there was just so many good things about it, and the fact that you were able to get a drum mag with it just made things twice as better. And yeah, the rest of the supply drop guns were really good, even though that most of them were pay to win in the first place. But all in all, they were just really good. And yeah, that's pretty much all I could say for multiplayer and just basically Advanced Warfare in general. I just wish it was actually populated so I can actually play it again. But no, that's not the case at all because, well, Advanced Warfare is sadly dead. I don't even have it installed. So, yeah, great game. Like I said, I really wish I was able to play it, but here we are now where things have changed. And that's all I got.
Alright, well, one thing I forgot to add when I was playing World War II is that there was a weapon called the Snake 2.
Oh, God.
Mikey.
You son of a bitch.
Always wanted. You brought up the speaking, I was like, oh yeah, this Snake 2 is pretty much the PPSH, but just the nicest looking version of it. And Mikey spent so much time trying to get this stupid gun from the supply drop. There was no way of getting it from collections. And I got it. I did not care.
Oh God, that's what made me pissed off. That's what made me pissed off.
They were just always just rubbing it in his face. Like, Mikey, look, I have it. And I just never used it.
Oh my God, that's why I wish that they actually had trading into this shit. Oh man, he knows that that there's no trading, so it just pisses me off that he just has that shit and he doesn't even care about it.
Alright, well, my third pick is kind of unpopular or controversial, depending on who you're talking to. But it's BO4. BO4 had one of my favorite campaigns of all time. It was like so unique. It was never done in a Call of Duty game. It was just really good. That's all about the game. I don't want to spoil it. Zombies wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It was just average. people expected way more than it is, but I enjoyed it. Voyage of Despair, I didn't really play it much. The only reason I played was just to do the
Easter egg.
do the like contracts and stuff or whatever it's called.
Don't you usually play it for the Easter egg?
The orders. Oh no! After I'm done with the Easter egg. Easter egg was one of the worst things. Except it was one of my favorite maps to play with friends. It was just always funny.
Oh wow!
There was a moment when we played our first attempt. I'm not sure my it just me, Amon, and then Mikey's brother. We were all playing Voyage at launch of VO4.
Oh god!
And then we all died. I was like, Mikey, save us. And then Mikey was like, alright. And then it was just us three down and just quiet. And Mikey just screamed because he saw the
stalker.
The stalker. He saw him.
He just fucking came out of nowhere. It's like, he was running to me. It's like, sup, bitch. It's like, my god.
That was a funny moment. But Easter egg was one of the hardest I ever done.
Yeah.
Not annoying or anything, just like actually difficult. Because you didn't have like the good weapons, it's pretty much almost impossible to even do. Because the last step of the Easter egg, you had to have easiest done with a launcher and the Kraken. But if you didn't have the healing salvo pack much 4 times, it's pretty much just.
And the staff.
Hard.
Don't forget that. It was basically a necessity.
Oh, the
It was
scepter.
basically a necessity to have the scepter.
Yeah, if you're in a co-op, you need the scepter, which is you place it down, you can revive people.
It basically made like a dome.
Multiplayer was the most rage-inducing multiplayer I ever played. Besides Modern Warfare, newest one. What else? BO4. I don't know if I've diamond on shadow weapons, but there's a lot of good clips I hit. A lot of funny clips I also have out of the multiplayer, body launches, bot feeds and stuff like that. It's the first map of BO4. Oh, Dead of the Night. Dead of the Night was, a lot of people like it, but like everyone else, not everyone else, but like every other thing. People like it, I don't like it for some reason.
I don't either.
Like, it's not like I'm hating. It's just like, for some reason, I don't enjoy it. I like the werewolf thing. Boss. There was a lot of craftable shit that you can do. Another thing that wasn't good was the at launch, if you messed up the rock step or messed up the second step of the steak knife wonder weapon, couldn't do that in the game. And I never crafted for another 4 months after that, just because it was fixed for a while, but I didn't really care about it. And yeah, it just ruined my experience for the map, just because I did everything else in that game, all in one game, all the achievements and all the craftables, and it was just that one achievement I didn't do because of that. What's the map? Oh, Ancient Evil, I think it's called. I actually liked it. I forgot what types of enemies it was, the guy with the shields. Oh, the Janity, or how you pronounce it. But it was like really annoying because you just couldn't kill them immediately, and they just absorbed so many bullets. Peace Race was fun. I enjoyed doing that map. Like, I wish I did it more, but it was just really fun just to watch people like just speedrun it, and there's always like people always just setting new records, world records every time they did it. Boss fight was one of my favorite boss fights because it was just like just everything that you can do in it. It's just separate islands. You find all these like zombies and blight fathers. I have it on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what it was. That's really annoying. Oh, and then like the last step where you're actually trying to like kill him. It just looked like really cool. Not the word I'm looking for, but don't remember that. What's the fucking Newtown remastered map? Do you remember? I don't remember the name of the map in Real for Zombies.
Alpha Omega.
What was it called? Oh yeah, Alpha Omega. I don't remember.
Me neither.
I don't remember any of these.
Me neither. Yeah, all I remember is that it basically made me feel like Frozen Dawn.
I just remember it was a fucking reboot.
All I remember from Alpha Omega is that it fucking made me feel like Frozen Dawn, where I was just fucking sleeping from playing it. So.
But they brought back the Avogadro. What else? Almost done with zombies. Last map. I actually told Call of the Dead map. Pretty sure I talked about when I was talking about BO1. I enjoy the Easter egg maybe a little more than the original, just because of just cool. Like you just get this. Actually, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's pretty much just you get the music box, and then you do the campfire. You hear the dialogue, and then the ending was a little underwhelming.
Yeah, I would say so.
What I'm looking for. But like, there wasn't really much of it, and it was just like, but it just seemed like they just didn't care about the zombies this year, or BO4. It just like everything would just turn together at the last second, it seemed.
Yeah, I agree.
The classified cutscene around 150.
Yeah.
I'd never done it because I didn't feel like spending so much time.
You couldn't do it anyway without getting a glitch, and you would get crucified for it.
Yeah, it was just like BO4 Zombies was just broken.
It was the most broken shit.
I went for Dark Matter. I was still going for it, but it just really like grindy. I probably spent like 200 to 300 hours just playing zombies, trying to go for it. Zombies was still good. I enjoyed it. A lot of people don't really like it, but you know, just my opinion. And yeah, the zombies as a whole was just last second. A lot of overpowered things such as the dog spawns on classified and mob, where it's just like the hitbox is there, but they don't appear beforehand. The tigers at launch was just for sure like a one hit. And they had to improve like everything, like the health system, but a lot of perks, like a lot of unique, but a lot of modes you can do. But the only thing that sucked is that you actually had to like prep beforehand. And then Blacko is one of my favorite modes in all of Call of Duty. It's just the first battle royale, which is actually very fun. I enjoyed the regular map with cargo in though. But the map I always play with just the Alcatraz, just very fast paced to 4 players. And then what is it? What's it called? Oh, just like the respawns. And it was all at Mob of the Dead, so it was just like really fun to play on. And they had the night map. They kept doing like a lot of stuff to black out, more modes, a lot of good modes. But then the characters, it was really good. One thing I did not like was Reznov. I went for Reznov so many times, and I got it, and then just every time I was in squads, I always got just screwed over by my team. Like, I had it, and all I had to do, my team was camp, and my team decided to actually try to fight someone. And they died, and then it was pretty much, I came in third when I had to come in second in squads. And, yep, I didn't get it. And that's all for BO4. That'd be something else.
All right. That was a pretty good statement, basically. Yeah, that was a pretty good statement of BO4 from your standing point. Next one I got, that's basically just 7, my number 7 spot. It's Modern Warfare Remastered. Don't get me wrong, I actually love this game because it's COD 4, so why would you, how could you not love it for all you OGs out there? But it was nothing special, it was nothing like really over the top. It's literally just a remaster with like a couple changes. They brought back like microtransactions, so they managed to make like guns cool and managed to give life to COD 4 by basically like doing that, basically making everything like different from what the original was. They managed to have the M16 is basically what it was before, except a little bit stronger with stopping power, and they still have the crazy nuke like grenades where I basically just said it. It's like every single time you throw one with frags times 3, you're just setting off a goddamn nuke in the enemy spawn. And let's cut to the chase. The game is actually it's pretty good. It's kind of one of the reasons I actually bought Infinite Warfare. Not only can I have like 2 games, but if I'm bored of one game, I can just go to the other and just have fun there. And it's basically like the same thing as COD 4, basically, but just with better graphics. The campaign was good. It had some interesting Easter eggs on there. Had a lot of new cheats. Had a lot of different things that had on MWR compared to COD 4, and it was basically a good version of the next gen for an old game to come back. And all in all, I like it very much, and I just wish I was able to go back. And when I usually go back, I usually have a chill time playing it, because I usually have some really guns there that I actually unlocked, and from just getting a shit ton of salvage and just like grinding the game for a lot. I didn't grind it all the way to max level because that thing just has way too much fucking levels to begin with. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. There's nothing much to say about it anyway. It was just a really good game. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. So the funny part is of this list, number 4, is the opposite game. What Mikey said. IW. Both released at the same time, so I was only able to play like actually one. But I played IW more just because I wanted to play a newer one than like just a remastered. And IW campaign was really cool. I'm not going to spoil anything, but shout out to my boy Ethan.
Yeah.
And just missed him. So haven't played him in a while.
Rest in peace to my boy.
Campaign was great. What else? Something else. Yeah, I don't remember much of the campaign. I did the campaign once and then that's it. Multiplayer, I did get to like, I don't know, 4th prestige. I boosted a couple of challenges. I tried to do the stupid C4 challenge. Really hard to boost. And multiplayer was kind of, a lot of people hate it, but it should have been the first game that introduced jetpack in my opinion. And then AW would have been the last. So I just switch around AW and IW, and then it would have been probably a good cycle.
Yeah.
Because you went from like just really known into jetpack, and then BO3, I would say perfected it, and then or made it good, and then I know you just like it should have been the first. But yeah, that's my opinions on that. I really don't remember anything about IW multiplayer. But Zombies is one of my favorite zombies. I would say most of them are better than track maps.
Yeah.
Zombie Spaceland is
It's a great beginner's map because it actually has a tutorial, for God's sakes. It's a better beginner map than Kino, in my opinion.
Yeah. Zombie Spaceland is one of my favorites. They had David Hasselhoff.
Where were we?
It was me on that.
Yes.
It was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was a 6. Yeah, IW Zombies in Spaceland is one of the best maps I've played. Everything about it was good. Yeah, the sign says at the end. There's a short Easter egg, but it doesn't mean that short Easter eggs are bad.
Yeah.
We had Neil.
Yep.
Which was annoying at some points, but it's just another way of playing the game. Another way to earn tickets. And they had the arcade. A lot of people made fun of it as like value hash, but it was actually like fun and never like all the games were kind of unique. There was machines to like play all the games, something. And it was like 30. And the basketball one was not the basketball one. This Ghosts and Skulls. That was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Because they had like certain things you had to do, like pop all the balloons that spawn. And then I forgot what the second spell was, but it was like I think spell the word ghost or spell the word skull. And then they had the arcade machines where you had to actually like play it. But then like I just liked IW just because they're all unique in every like map. Or it was like fun to play.
Yep.
Then after you do the Easter eggs, you can play as the characters, Hasselhoff and Zombies. Kevin Smith was his name.
Yeah,
the
Kevin Smith.
Hockey guy.
Yeah, Kevin Smith.
And Raven the Redwoods.
Yeah.
It was a cool map. Round 10 was the scariest whenever you see the butterflies. Just go into vision of it.
That is true. That's fucking slasher. Oh man.
Shaolin Shuffle, yeah. This guy right here messed up my achievement on my streak of achievement on every single DLC game.
Oh god.
Because he just like have you on. And he just never got on. And then it just messed my entire like streak up I had for like since 5 years.
Oh man. I'm so sorry about that.
I was like, well, there goes that streak. And then it was just really buggy whenever me like you play, just like laggy. Like we usually did our his first playthrough time, but it just super laggy all the time.
We did the first playthrough.
And it was just super laggy.
Yep.
And then I like that map. A lot of people didn't like it. Like I said before, half people don't like. I like maps I like, people don't like. I don't know why, but it's always been like that. People say Raven the Redwoods and Cacturea, I think it's like the best map. I didn't like it, but Raven the Redwoods is good. I went back and played it later on in the game's life. Back to the radioactive thing. Yeah, I had my friend McCoy. That's when we all went back and
those are times.
did the Easter egg because I didn't know how to do the math at all.
I think Zach was the only person that
he
knew
knew
exactly what the fucking
that'd be too
codes
much.
were.
Done. I mean, Beast from Beyond was. They have brought back everything like Aliens, the Venom X, Venom Y from Ghost.
Yeah.
and Venom Z. Then there's upgrades. And then the favorite thing about Eastern Beyond was that there was a super Easter egg. Super Easter egg was one of the best boss battles I ever been. Even though the way I did it was
kind of cheesy.
People, yeah, very much just the funny part is we didn't even do it intentionally.
Yeah, it just happened accidentally.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
And then I remember.
Yeah.
What the way we did was that Mikey got launched off the map from the devil guy.
Well, yeah, I died actually.
Mephistophelies. And then he went all the way to the bottom, and I forgot I had Rise and Phoenix, which is like I picked him up, except he was still alive all the way at the bottom. And it was me, him, and my friend McCoy, and we all just kept me and McCoy kept going down. He kept leaving since I was host. The thing was stressful because we were almost done with the boss battle. Mikey had to leave to cram himself for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then just, that was it. I'm done with IW.
Right.
Oh, and also they had the super Easter egg where if you did every single Easter egg, you had director's cut, which is $25,000. If you activate it, man. What else? All perks, like Perkaholic. Then they had, what is it called? Oh, Pack Punch weapons and the mystery box. And that's about IW. What's your turn now?
Alright. Yeah, I just want to clarify that I'm sorry for wasting your time. Sorry, I just want to clarify that I'm sorry for wasting your time, honestly.
Oh, no worries. I was just trying to get through that, and I just kept leaving. I was like, dude, I'm almost done. Just let me get through.
Okay, so my number 8th one is Ghost. Wasn't really a big fan of it, but...
No, I think it's number 7.
Yeah, I talked to number 7 already. It was MWR.
Modern Warfare?
Yeah, it was MWR.
Oh, alright.
My number 8th one, it's Ghost. Ghost, gave me a lot of mixed emotions, honestly. To be fair, it was pretty damn good. The multiplayer was kind of slow-paced, kind of fucked up time to kill. Mixed emotion-wise weapons, as it didn't really matter how good a gun was because the time to kill was just a fucking bitch to begin with. Strike Zone was a good addition to the map, to the game, because it would basically gave Strike Zone 24/7. Extinction, really good change up from zombies, because it basically is not a survival thing anymore. It's just like a survival type mission based type of game mode. And I basically had like a lot of fun on it, and I was basically the only person to play Extinction on the next gen consoles by myself, because nobody would switch to the 360 until like Christmas of 2014. And yeah, every single time when a new map came out, I would always be getting stuff done from the 360, and then when I'm by myself, I usually just go on the Xbox One and just complete it from there. And well, Nightfall was really good, honestly, for a first mission. Well, Point of Contact was as a really good, beginner mission. All you need to do is just basically survive hives and basically do everything. Just like try to survive from the aliens and just like destroy the hives, activate the nuke, run back to the spawn, and just basically just complete the mission from there. Nightfall was the one that started the boss fights for Extinction in the first place. It was really good. I felt really satisfied, really defeating the breeder. And that time space, that time achievement where you have to basically kill the breeder in a minute and 30 seconds. It was like that. And I did it both on Xbox 360 and Xbox One. And The Xbox 360, I did it with friends. I did it with I did it by myself on Xbox One, and then I basically just did the same things with Mayday, and then I did it I actually completed Awakening by myself on Xbox One, which I didn't think would be possible at that time. Mayday is one of my favorite maps. Mayday is my favorite map from Extinction, because it was just like really simple to go through. All you need to do is just do the two-part boss fight where you have to basically defend the gas or the gas chambers, and then you would just have to do the Kraken boss fight, and that's pretty much it. Awakening, it was a scary one. It was kind of harder than Point of Contact. It was basically twice as hard, and you have to basically scan the obelisk or scan the hives, which turned into obelisk. Because the drill progress, it was slower, and the aliens, well, the cryptids, were twice as hard to beat, as we were dealing with fucking mammoths, rhinos, gargoyles, fucking bombers, just all kinds of things thrown at you. And that's all you gotta basically do. All you have to do now is just like, after when you survive the obelisk of scanning it, you just like go to the Ark and just like defend the terminals, and then after that you run back all the way to the spawn like Point of Contact, except it was much more intense and intimidating. And because the whole entire thing was basically going through like a meltdown earthquake. As the place was basically falling apart. And yeah, I really like the intimidation of it. Really good map. Exodus, I really like that I was able to get a new weapon, fight new bosses, get new hives, honestly get new schematics, have some Easter eggs that involve like the ending of basically getting more intel from Neversoft. And I really like the ending for Exodus in the first place, because Extinction really did it right for actually making a mission-based game mode. Because the boss fight was it was annoying, to be quite honest. I hate doing timing is everything. That was like the worst achievement to honestly do. Completing it with friends in general was just a bitch, considering there were like unlimited ancestors. Doing the challenges were kind of annoying, and the completionists were the most satisfying thing you can honestly complete from a map. But all in all, Ghost multiplayer was it was all right. Campaign, don't really remember much of any of it. Just the only thing I remember is just Federation Day and the stealth mission for you escaping the forest. Work, the characters, nothing really like emotional about it. That's pretty much it.
All right, so number 5, and I think you messed up somewhere because I'm on 7. I recounted my list. And
yeah, I'm on 8.
I'm on
7.
I'm on 8. I don't know how.
Because I talked about...
Yeah, how?
Yeah, I talked about Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, BO3, World War 2, Advanced Warfare, MWR, and now Ghost. I'm on 9.
I talked about... How? What the... Alright, well, I can just do these two. I don't know how you're ahead of me.
Okay.
I know you went first and all, but, my next is Modern Warfare 3 and Ghost. They're pretty much both the same. I don't remember much of the campaign, except I just remember the end when I played it back when I had Xbox One. I was confused for a second. I was like, why am I just on the beach? And I was like, alright, did my game break? And I looked to my right and I got kicked in the face. That scared me. And then it was just a cliffhanger.
Yep.
That's the only thing I remember. Extinction, Point of Contact, I remember the first time I ever did Point of Contact. I got left behind from 2 people. Cousin Tom and this guy right here, Mike. You're doing it? I was like, Mike, you saved me. You literally got on the helicopter and left. I was right next to it. I was like, dude, you could have just picked me. I was like, there's no alien. He's like, oh, I'm on the airplane. I was like, well, nothing.
Oh man.
And then when I went on the F+1, me, him, and McCoy, we were just playing it, going back a year or two later, and I got, I think, 20th in the world for like weekly, one time, where I had to be like 7 or 8, I think 8 relics, and got like 400,000 score, and I was ranked like 20th weekly,
wow.
for like a week, or at a time. Point of contact. Nightfall is one of my favorite maps because guess what? Snow. Anytime that has to do with snow, I usually like it. Can't really think of a map that
Snow maps are really good.
had snow.
Snow maps are really good anyway.
I can't even like think of multiplayer either. Nightfall was fun. The lab, but not the lab, the warehouse. I like how if you collect certain like search boxes, you had intel in them, and you had to do like some parkour stuff or just go to areas that you wouldn't really go to. Unless you're just trying to explore. They had the first 2 maps. I don't know if they had it in Mayday in them. First 2 maps they had the Easter eggs were with LOL, and then what was it in Nightfall? It was just something with like the
snowmen
on the line. Yeah, and then they had 2 boss fights in one, the breeders. And the pea shooter team was fun. It's really easy, man. You had the art.
Yeah.
That's about that. Mayday, I did it solo on the 360, and multiplayer is pretty much I just did straight from 24/7. Mayday, I just did completion. I did like 3 chains in one run. Completed my first time, did completionist, and then maybe there was another one on the 360 ones. Awakening, one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a team that knew what they were doing, you were fine.
Yeah.
Then they had the band with the Blue Rhinos, which was really hard, but it was cool because they gave I think $2,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was very good early on, but you had to have like good luck. Obviously the challenges during the actual hives and destroying them. Those were my favorite parts. The thing I hated in Point Contact was the secret one where you can't take damage.
Yeah, I hate that one.
It was always really hard to do in like the completionist. What else? And then Exodus was really fun, and then they added hardcore difficulty, I'm pretty sure, in the last DLC. Which made there was an achievement where you had to complete it. I think just complete it once. But for some reason, what me and my friend did was we did it, but made it Exodus completion. Don't know why, but we did. And then Awakening, the final area before like you actually go back, was really hard because if you didn't have 4 players, it was almost impossible. I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
They didn't have 2 or more players. It was really difficult because you had 2 ways they can come from downstairs and 2 from upstairs. And it was a small area anyways, and that was it. That's Ghost. That wasn't even my 5th. That was my 6th. Modern Warfare 3 is 5, but I can spoke quickly. Modern 3. Modern 3 was my first game I ever had Xbox Live with. I'll actually play it online. First game I actually did a challenge with Mikey on with BTK the Nuke, Cyber Spartan. I don't know if that's their name.
Yeah, they still have the names. Well, the Nuke is my brother, and he's the One Last Chance. And Cyber, we don't fucking talk about him.
Oh, alright. And then Cyber, it was just pretty much me and Mikey's like cousins and brothers, brother-in-law.
No, Cyber was just my best friend at the time. Cyber was my best friend at the time.
Oh, that was your cousin. And then it was like whoever can get the round first one to level 50 in one player. And Modern Warfare 3 is one of my favorite like one players to play in its prime. Just because everyone like wasn't annoying, flying their ass off. Like now, where it's like they have to go for stats and stuff. No, it was just more fun. Black Ops. There was a couple of annoying things or missions like respawn veteran. But the only one I think was SmackDown or something over to something. It was like you spawn in a helicopter, you have strings. Me and Mikey just gave up for like a year, and I did it sold, and it was like really easy. Then when it went backwards compatible, me and Mikey went back and got the remaining one, and I got my last intel. Thing was, I thought my intel was glitched because how I did was I go through all the missions, and as soon as I collect the last intel I needed, or all intel for the level, I backed out. So I thought that messed up, and I was using the strategy guide. Not really good. It was helpful. Showed you location, but didn't tell you how to get there. And yeah, I just had to go through Mind the Gap. I didn't know there was a second part of that mission, and that was the intel I missed.
Wow.
As soon as I collected that, I got the achievement, and finally my last goddamn achievement was completion. And that's oh, and there was a couple of fun start off missions. DLC, like the snowmobile.
Yeah, because it
it
brought back a lot of cliffhanger vibes, basically.
Yeah, and then Modern Warfare 3, I was a completionist. God damn, I forgot to bring about BO3. Modern Warfare 3 is that I loved going for the conquer emblems. I used to boost them with a friend in 1v1. I'm not gonna say their name, obviously. I don't want them to get banned or anything, or get reported. But I used to boost with this one person on Modern Warfare 3. Just to get some calling cards. Wasn't really caring about camos, just wanted calling cards and emblems. Like, I think the one with Captain Price where you can do like an entire LMG. That one had to be boosted. You couldn't do that. Legally.
Yeah.
There's no way. If you did it, then I don't know what you're doing with your life. But then there's the calling emblem. I don't really see much people have. It's like 300 stun grenades, I think. Or you get stunned and you get killed 300 people.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
The challenges were a bitch, honestly.
The last one I needed is flashes. If I get that, either flashes or stuns. If I get that, I have all the emblems. Legitly. Well, in quotation marks. And in BO3, I forgot to bring up, is that it's the only... Shut up, cat. It's the only game where I have 100% in almost everything. I have 99% done in the entire game. Not including Dark Ops. What I mean is, I have 100% of the achievements. So all 99 or 91, whatever. All games. Yep, all gamer score. I forgot to bring this up when I wanted to. 100% campaign, which is all battles and on guards. 100% zombies, easy, hard. I think including Dark Ops. 99% multiplayer. The only 2 challenges I'm missing are Search and Destroy and Ninjas. I need like 16 more wins and then 3 or 4 more ninja diffuses. And I have everything done. BO3 besides Dark Ops.
Why don't you just go for it?
That's all. I went for like a year, a couple months after I know you came up with it.
Really?
I was always thinking about it, but like, I don't know. But I'm done. I just did my list.
Alright, so...
Now I'm on to my trash.
Alright, so... Yeah, I'm up to my trash list as well, because it's just 9, 10, 11. Well, you might not like this, but many people might agree. It's Infinite Warfare, okay? Now, I'm not gonna... Now, hear me out. I loved majority that Infinite Warfare had to offer. I just didn't like the multiplayer. The campaign was great. Shout out to my boy Ethan. And pretty much that's all I can remember for the campaign. Is that it was basically turned into an emotional ending. It was great. And the multiplayer was not my cup of tea at all. I didn't like it, and I stopped at 4th Prestige, or like 5th Prestige, and I got that at like January or like December or something like that, because I remember that me and Danny were basically doing like a Prestige race, and we wanted to see who could basically get the 10th Prestige, or who could keep the higher level, or the highest level, out of all of us together. The longest, and I basically did that because I somehow just kept consistently going through a pattern of Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare. But for some reason, when like Danny went off, or like nobody was around, I would be going on Modern Warfare Mastered and just play a couple hours of that. And when he got back on, I would go on Infinite Warfare and just basically repeat it every single time. But yeah, Infinite Warfare was basically like what Daddy said about zombies. One of my favorites, and one of my favorites is basically a change up from Treyarch, because what I plan to say is that it's basically going to be the same thing as Daddy said, that so Spaceland was really good. So Wave in the Redwoods was one of my favorite maps from that. Shaolin Shuffle was questionable. Attack of the Radioactive Thing, I couldn't even know what the hell I was even doing. And Beast from Beyond was basically like a nostalgia trip from Ghost. And yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got from Infinite Warfare. Not much said.
Alright, so my first list, first Call of Duty of the trash list, or these, not really good, in my opinion, is Modern Warfare, the newest, the 2019 edition.
Here we go.
Campaign, the best campaign. I don't care what anyone says. It has the best campaign of all time, in my opinion, for Call of Duty, or top 3. I don't really pay attention to the stories, but because I wanted to actually pay attention. It was really good. Nothing really hard. What makes I would consider a good campaign. Call of Duty is not really difficult, but has some difficult situations. Multiplayer. I didn't really enjoy it in the beta. The only reason I still bought it was just because crossplay. I was able to finally play with my friend from when we used to play on the AW back in 2014, 2015. He switched to PS4 for Black Ops 3, so I didn't really play. I never really played much with it, unless it was like early on in 2016 to play 360 GTA. That's about it. And then yeah, multiplayer. The only reason I bought it was because crossplay. I was trying to play with my friend from when I was in high school and school in general. And yeah, I didn't really enjoy it because the time to kill was very just fast. You shoot like 2-3 bullets and they're already dead. So there's like no time to react. But like the more you play it, you get used to like the used to it, and kind of like not adapt, but like know how to counter it at some point. But it's still really difficult. All the maps in the game are trash besides like unpopular opinion. Piccadilly is one of the best maps in the game. Another map, Ramaz I liked. But then as soon as they introduced shootouts, literally all I played was shootouts. They took it out and it was like the worst thing.
You know what the fucking thing is?
The Maxis camo is like the worst thing they ever did. It just not even worth it.
It's not. It's not.
The only time I actually grind for the game was BO3 and BO4 Zombie. That's it. Yeah, the only thing good about multiplayer is just get a lot of kills and shit.
And you know what the thing is?
And if you have ribbons.
Well, you know what the thing is about shipment? You know what the thing is about shoot the ship? It's the same thing as vacant. You barely get shipment. You barely get shipment, and you always get shoot house. 90%, 95% of the time, you get shoot house. 5% of the time, you get shipment. It's the same thing.
And then Special Ops is the worst any of Call of Duty. I don't care what anyone says, they can defend it as much as they want. It is the worst thing to ever be in a Call of Duty. It's like they never tested it out before they released the game. They were like saying, oh, bringing back Special Ops. Everyone's like, oh, good. Special Ops from like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. No, the complete opposite. They just did like these special operations. There's like 4 of them. They take like 30 to 40 45 to 60 minutes to complete. Not reward. You get like a character operator on multiplayer, but that's about it. You don't really get anything special like doing them. Besides the achievement, if you do all 4, and if you do like each operation, you get like another character. And if you do all 4, you get like the African militia leader guy. And then yeah, it's like they hyped it up to be like the special, like 3-star special ops, and then it's like not good. It's really difficult, like insanely difficult. They don't try it, and then they don't really fix anything about the difficulty. Like your first mission's like, first mission might be the hardest. I know it's crazy to say, but like the first one and the third, I would say the third one is the hardest, because it just, you have multiple juggernauts come to you, and then like smoke and just great stuff. But there was luckily a god glitch I saw when I was looking for achievement guides on that. And if I didn't do that, I probably would have not done special ops still. It takes like 3 or 4 hours if you want to do it like just in one sitting, but not much. It's just really difficult, and it just seemed like they didn't really try. And then they brought back a thing from like safeguard. It was not like safeguard.
It was not like safeguard at all.
And then yeah, I'm going to speed this up because I'm about to eat.
Yeah.
So I'm going to order. My second one is AW. I don't really remember much of the campaign. I just remember that it was hold on, I'm trying to let me just get a drink of water. And then
okay.
And then I don't remember much of the AW. I just remember there was challenges that you could do at the bottom. The achievement wheelman was really annoying. I had my friend help me on the Xbox One edition. I did it like 15 attempts, just never did it. 360 I could do it first attempt. What was the not survival? What?
Yeah, it's called Extra Survival.
And then Extra Survival. And then it was just like pretty much just survival of Mario 3, except just you keep going. And then you do like 25 or 30 waves, whatever it is. And then it flips the map, and then you do it again. You just keep going. It's kind of pointless once you want the achievement. And then they had the buggy achievement on the Xbox One. 100% completion according to Xbox. But I don't have all the achievements. Multiplayer, I didn't really consider it to be good. But later on, just like I just remember going back and looking at it. Just remember how much fun I had on 360 with my 4 other friends. And then I switched, like AW, I always had people 360 and Xbox One. 360 on my squad from like school and a couple people I met online. And we played through like the first 2 DLCs. And then I switched to Xbox One, and then I just played with squad now to this day. And then what else? Squad ups. They were fun. My best squad up has to be on the 360 where I took a picture, but my phone was broken at the time. Where I got the first item I got was the HBR Insanity. They're all 3 elites. Opened a regular supply drop, Insanity, HBR. Second one was a Lynx painting or tack diver, whatever, one of those 2. And the last one was a Speakeasy. Never seen anyone get that lucky before. So I'm gonna take a picture. This was on my second phone, I think. And the camera was just like messed up. And after I did that, all I had to do was just restart the phone and the camera would have been fixed. Didn't know that. But I had no proof of that until like, here, look at my armor. But then after the game was done, I hated the game so much. I sold both my copies of AW, 360 and Xbox One. And also before I got rid of it, I sold all of my items besides like the hole puncher, the steel bite, speakeasy, and like a couple other weapons. And then my last one is Modern Warfare Remastered. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good, trash or anything. Just saying I didn't really play it. I took a break from Call of Duty in 2016, 2017. Just playing multiplayer. Campaign was fun because I played it back in May 2016, the original COD 4. I'm just going back in it because I want the achievements and stuff. I did on Veteran and went back on the Xbox One and oh, I just remembered Brooklyn for the Heat mission. No, not Heat. One shot, one kill where you had to like end the fair.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, there was a glitch I found out where if you camped in the booth, you were invincible. And like that was about it. Campaign was easy. It took me like 21 hours to get all the achievements. I think like one of the first 25 people to get all the achievements. Multiplayer I didn't really play. I just played into a couple of friends. That's about it. Multiplayer I just played Prop Hunt.
Yeah.
Prop Hunt and then that was it. I didn't really play much of it, so that's about it. And also, Mikey doesn't know the Call of Duty game, but I gotta include this. You have any guesses, Mikey?
Fucking, Declassified?
Nope, not classified. Better than that.
Fucking mobile?
Better than probably all the other Call of Duties, graphic-wise.
Fucking mobile?
Alright, it's BO3 on the 360.
Oh, man.
I bought it. Thought it was gonna be fresh. Probably. The only thing that sucks is that not a lot of people had it.
Why the fuck did you buy that again?
Was top tier. Achievements, not really easy. It's like almost 100% like all multiplayer. I did it on the Xbox One. I ain't doing it on the 360.
I would assume that the fucking zombie ones would not be there.
Zombies, I have all the zombie achievements besides DLC 1. I don't know why they just stopped it. And also, I'm not doing pack punch on round 1 on Shadow.
Why?
You had to have 4 people. I didn't have 4 people.
Is that even a fucking achievement on Xbox One?
No.
What the fuck?
That was the only achievement that was. There's all the achievements on the 360 were like different. Like kill like 10 crawlers, zombies. You get like 35 games for something. And I kill a zombie, like 3 zombies from like 100 feet away. But then that's about it. I'm gonna be leaving out to eat.
Alright, so here's my list.
Would probably be like Modern Warfare. I don't know.
Here's my list. Here's my next up on the list. Modern Warfare 2019. The game sucks. Really good campaign. One of the greatest campaigns I've ever played since like MW2. And the fucking multiplayer, should I even fucking say anything? Like the fucking thing is just trash in general. Like nothing about it, about the fucking multiplayer is good at all. No communication is fucking there. The fucking like Robert Bowling gives more communication to the fucking community more than fucking Ashton and Joe combined. Like nobody knows how to fucking like do anything in the game. Like you're either with fucking people that are somehow we're trying to impress Scump them as much as possible so you can see their fucking montage or some shit like that. And with your team, you're basically with a bunch of people that somehow had a stroke at fucking birth. It's so bad. Not to mention that's fucking was basically the description of or one fucking sentence of skill-based matchmaking. And goddamn thing is horrible. Spec Ops, like what Danny said, is the fucking worst thing you could ever fucking experience. And the damn thing is just buggy itself. And the fucking like multiplayer is like one of the buggiest and the most rage-inducing fucking shit I've ever played in my life. Like,
I didn't interrupt you, but I was just on the dashboard, about to get off. And I saw that there was a sale for Xbox, the 650 or something, 850.
Okay.
And yeah, 850. And I saw Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I looked how much. It's already $21 off.
Is that good or what?
Dude, it's literally $21 off.
It's
a month, 2 months after the
oh my god! It's not like it's at least it's not worth $1. Oh my god. There's not much to be said. I mean, the fucking multiplayer is just goddamn like it's abysmal. I don't know how I somehow am playing it, but I somehow have an addiction of actually playing the multiplayer, so I somehow have a fucking hard time quitting. The damn multiplayer literally fucking, like, messes with your mental health in the first place. Like, the amount of dumb shit in the game is just so, like, ridiculous. And that's all I pretty much need to say about Modern Warfare. Just a fucking 2 out of 10 at this point. And the last one.
Alright, well, I'm gonna get off.
Wait, hold on.
I'm gonna get off now because I know what Call of Duty you're gonna say here.
Alright, yeah. Last thing I need to fucking say. Black Ops 4. Fuck this game.
Alright, peace.
Fuck this game.
Hearing this negativity in my life.
Literally the worst multiplayer. Fucking, like, greatest campaign of them all. The fucking specialist story was somehow a bust. The zombies, no, I'm not dealing with that shit. I barely fucking played it until Tactor Totem came along. I didn't even play fucking Alpha Omega. The goddamn thing is just, like, these two Call of Duties generally are the worst follow-ups to each other. Holy shit, I cannot fucking say much about this anymore. God damn. I didn't even play Black Ops 4 like at all because the game actually saved my life, known as Apex Legends. And I didn't even play multiplayer. I stopped playing multiplayer on Black Ops 4 in December. December of like the first month of its release, and I did not even fucking like play it. Worst follow-up games I've ever had. Fucking World War II was the best 3-year cycle we've ever had. World War II was honestly the best game we've had from the 3-year cycle. It went from, well, it was the last one, considering that it went from Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer. Yeah, this was the worst cycle, honestly. And now we're gonna be going back to Treyarch, and I honestly, I'm scared for this, honestly. Anyway, those were our top tier, or basically our tier list for ranking every single COD of the decade. I hope you guys enjoyed, and sorry for the times I basically left, because I'm probably gonna cut them out in the first place, because you guys didn't even think they actually happened, but they did. But yeah, I'll basically see you guys later. This was the first time in a while I've ever actually done this since my Christmas video. But even before my Christmas video, it's been a long time since I've actually done this. But yeah, I hope you guys have learned something from this. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of our list. And yeah, that's all I can say right now. Peace out. I'm probably live streaming at this point, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.